Everyone's focused on Bluey's child because we actually see her. But Bingo's story is hidden in plain sight, and the clues are way deeper than you think. 1. Cernis isn't imaginary, he's remembered. You probably remember the episode where Bingo pretends to be a mum. She talks about putting Cernis to bed, asks Bandit for help, and even mentions his bedtime routine. That's not just random play, it feels way too specific. Here's the theory. Cernis isn't imaginary. He's her actual child from the future. And for some reason, she already knows his name and how to care for him. Sounds weird, but this show has used imagination to drop real clues before. So what you're seeing might not be pretend at all. It might be Bingo remembering something that hasn't even happened yet. 2. Cernis may have arrived before Bluey's kid. In the episode Surprise, we see a future Bluey visiting her parents with a child. Most people assume the puppy is hers. But there's something strange about how Bingo is shown. She's not there in person. She's just in a photo, off at Easter Island. And unlike Bluey, she doesn't look older at all. That photo could have been taken years earlier. So here's the question. Is that scene showing one moment in time, or are we seeing two different timelines mixed together? If so, Bingo might have had a child before Bluey. Maybe the puppy isn't Bluey's. Maybe it's Bingo's. 3. Cernis might have a silent, soft-spoken dad. There's a quiet puppy in Turtle Boy named Dougie. He's calm, kind, and deaf, and he bonds with the same toy turtle that Bingo later finds. That's not just a random link. Both Dougie and Bingo are gentle, thoughtful, and strangely connected through a toy neither of them ever talks about. Now here's where it gets weird. They've never actually met. Not once. But their stories already overlap. If Dougie is the future dad of Cernis, that would explain a lot, like why Bingo might learn sign language so early. It's sweet, silent, and, honestly, too perfect to ignore. 4. Cernis could be a rainbow baby of Bingo. In one episode, Bingo places a balloon under Chili's shirt to pretend she's pregnant. Everyone laughs until the balloon suddenly pops. In that moment, Chili's face changes. Her reaction is quiet, but it doesn't feel like just a joke gone wrong. Much later, we find out that Chili's sister Brandy struggled with infertility, and it becomes clear that the balloon scene might have carried deeper meaning. Since Bingo is also a red healer like them, the show could be hinting that she might face the same struggle. If that's the case, then Cernis may be her rainbow baby, born after heartbreak, but full of hope. 5. Cernis was named in the stars before he was born. In Sleepy Time, Bingo drifts off surrounded by stars, planets, and books about space. It's clear she's obsessed with the universe, but here's where things get strange. Later, in Pretend Play, she names her child Cernis. That's not a made-up name. There's a real astronomer named Nicholas Cernis, and the connection feels too specific to ignore. Maybe Bingo didn't just pull that name out of nowhere. Maybe she chose it because it means something deeper. If she already dreams of stars, maybe she also dreams of who she'll share them with. Cernis might not just be a name, it might be a destiny. 6. Cernis's mom might be an archaeologist on the run. In the flash-forward scene, we see Bingo at Easter Island in a photo. That one image says a lot. Bandit works in archaeology, but Bingo might take things even further. She's always been curious and imaginative, so a career digging up ancient secrets in faraway places actually makes sense. But here's the twist. If she's traveling the world for work, how does that affect raising a child like Cernis? A life of packed bags, flight delays, and bedtime stories over video calls? It sounds chaotic, but for Bingo, that could be the plan. 7. Cernis might grow up, living out of a suitcase. If Bingo becomes a full-time explorer, Cernis might grow up in a suitcase. Dig sites, airports, and hotel rooms could be his version of a backyard. It's not the usual family setup, but Bingo's never been typical. She might use video calls, surprise packages, or homemade traditions to stay connected while away. And here's the emotional twist. Bingo used to cry when Bandit left for work. Now she might be the one saying goodbye. Imagine Cernis at the door, asking her not to go. It's a full-circle moment, and honestly, kind of heartbreaking in the best possible way. 8. Cernis may be raised by Auntie Lila's snack empire. Back in Daddy Drop-Off, Lila clung to Bingo like her life depended on it. That bond wasn't just sweet, It was serious. They promised to be friends forever, and in Bluey, forever actually means something. If Bingo ends up traveling for work, Lila might be the one stepping in to help raise Cernis. Whether she's a live-in auntie, a part-time babysitter, or the fun adult who always brings snacks, her role could be huge. Just like Chili relies on her circle, Bingo might build her own, with Lila right at the center holding it all together with hugs and hair clips. 9. Cernis could fall in love with Lila's future kid. The Bluey universe might be planting seeds for something way deeper than puppy games and playground crushes. Imagine this: Cernis, Bingo's future kid, growing up alongside Bluey's child and Lila's possible children. We already know Bingo and Lila's bond is the real deal. They promise to be friends forever, and in this show, that's basically a blood oath. So what happens when their kids grow up together too? You've got a new generation of healers all tangled in friendship, loyalty, and maybe even a little romance. It sounds wild, but Bluey has always loved full-circle storytelling. The same kids who once cried during daycare drop-offs might someday be raising kids who fall in love with each other. Cernis dating Lila's kid? That's either adorable or terrifying, depending on how much of Bandit's personality Cernis inherits. Either way, if this theory plays out, it's going to be the cutest soap opera on Australian TV. 10. Cernis might be the real surprise in that episode. In the Season 3 finale surprise, Bluey shows up at her parents' house with a child. The doorbell prank is a direct callback to the very first episode, tying past and future together. But in the middle of all that sweet nostalgia, Chili says something strange. She casually mentions, "Bingo's out the back." That line feels off. It doesn't match the energy of the scene, and it doesn't lead anywhere. We never see Bingo. We only hear that she exists somewhere nearby. If she was truly out back, why not show her? Why even bring her up? The mention feels too deliberate to ignore, like a clue hidden in plain sight. It suggests the real surprise isn't at the front door. It might be the secret waiting behind the house. 11th. Cernis will be raised by a very different kind of mom. Even as kids, Bluey and Bingo handle parenting in completely different ways. Bluey turns it into a game. She's loud, silly, and loves chaos. Her version of being a mom usually involves lasers, costumes, and someone jumping off the couch. Bingo, on the other hand, is out here preparing for real-life parenthood. She puts her pretend kids to bed, teaches them how to ride bikes, and asks Bandit for help with their routines. It's not just play for her, it's practice. If this keeps up, their future parenting styles will be night and day. Bluey's kid might grow up thinking dinner time is a theater show. Bingo's kid, meanwhile, will probably have a bedtime chart and a snack list. The wild part is how clearly the show has already drawn the line between them, years before either one becomes a parent. 12. Cernis might just be the first of many. When Bingo plays pretend, she doesn't just imagine one child, she imagines a whole pack. In one episode, she's got Cernis who needs help sleeping. In another, she casually mentions teaching Delina how to ride a bike. This isn't random. It's a full-blown family roster. Then there's Sleepy Time, where Bingo floats through space surrounded by stuffed animals that look suspiciously like a soft, fluffy crowd of future children. At the center, Floppy, her favorite plush, glowing like a tiny guardian angel. If Bluey is hinting at future storylines, this feels like a loud whisper. Bingo might not just have one kid, she might be planning a whole team. And let's be honest, if one of them isn't named Floppy, it would be the most shocking twist of all. That toy's been through more drama than most daytime soap characters. 13. Cernis could be living Bingo's childhood in reverse. If Bluey's child and Bingo's child grow up together, we could be looking at the next iconic duo. Just like Bluey and Bingo, these two might share games, adventures, and late-night talks about aliens or why Bandit is the way he is. But here's the twist. What if they don't get along? What if Cernis is quiet and cautious while Bluey's kid is loud and reckless? It could be a brand new dynamic that flips everything we expect. They might not be besties, they might be frenemies, or even worse, cousins who tolerate each other at family barbecues and fight over the last sausage. Still, there's a chance they mirror their mums in surprising ways. Maybe Cernis takes after Bluey, and Bluey's kid ends up more like Bingo. Whatever happens, the idea of a next-gen pairing gives the show a way to keep going, while keeping the family legacy weird, messy, and deeply lovable. That's everything we've uncovered about Bingo's mysterious future. It's not just wild, it's suspiciously detailed. Could Bluey be setting up a spin-off focused on Cernis? Or is this all one giant misdirection? Comment below, smash that like, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next clue.